Kleemann MOBICONE MCO9 can process 260 tonnes of material per hour, and it's a fairly lightweight machine, weighing only around 28 tonnes. This model of it from Conrad comes in the usual expanded polystyrene trays, and there's the model sitting snugly inside. There are some technical details about the machine printed on the box, but there were no instructions for the model supplied, so we'll have to work out where the various parts get fitted. To begin with, there's an extension to the main feed hopper, and that clips into place on top of the hopper. It's a nicely made part which fits quite well. Next to fit is the ultrasonic detector, which optimises the amount of material inside the cone crusher. Next there is a light post which indicates the working status of the machine. It's tall and thin, and it presses into a couple of holes on the body. There is another optional part that you can fit, and that's a secondary conveyor, and that also feeds into the main hopper. There are two support frames which can be pressed into place, but unlike the real machine, they can't be rotated into the body for transport. The conveyor is a complete separate piece, and that presses into place on top of the frames. Once you've done that, the whole model is fully configured. Starting underneath, the rubber loading and discharge belts are clearly visible. And moving to the loading hopper, it's a nice casting with a good structure. The track frames are simple and the tracks themselves are plastic, but the colour match is good. And a high point is the detailing around the cone crusher. Looking inside the crusher, the cone is clearly visible. Some of the handrails on the model are metal like these ones, but the white ones are plastic, and there are quite a few plastic parts on the model. The Kleemann graphics are good, and the discharge conveyor looks convincing. On top of the feed conveyor, the magnet and metal detector box is plastic, but the secondary conveyor is all metal with a rubber belt. Out on the Cranes etc. test quarry, let's try out the tracks, and they roll very well even on a smooth surface. One of the display possibilities for the model is as a transport load. Beep, 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 beep. And here comes the giant hand crane to load the cone crusher onto a low loader. It is a good load for a truck because the parts that would cause a headroom or width issue are all detachable and can be carried separately. Here we see a giant man loading up some of the smaller parts. Once everything's loaded, we can drive away to the quarry. One nice feature on the model is the way the feed conveyor has been hinged, so it can be low headroom for transport or raised up for when it's working. Let's now take a look and see how the main feed conveyor works, and we've taken a small piece of rock. We fed it into the hopper, and now we turn the belt to see what happens. Come on, turn the belt, get it moving. Finally it goes on the belt and travels towards oblivion, where it's going to be crushed into a million pieces. After processing, we can turn the belt and see what comes out of the other end. Well, that's a sorry output for a day's work. There is one other small feature on the discharge conveyor, and the tip can fold down. This is a typically strong and robust model by Conrad. It looks good, although there is a touch more plastic than might normally be expected. But overall it's still a heavy model with good functionality. A model like this always looks good if you pose it with other machines, and it's good enough to highly recommend.